Respected Professor Ram, Dean, Faculty of Arts, Punjabi University, Chandigarh, Professor Jagtar Singh, former Professor, Department of Library Information Science, and Dean, Faculty of Education and Information Science, Punjabi University, Patiala, other fellow academicians, all the participants, a very good morning to you all. On behalf of the Department of Library Information Science, Punjab University, Chandigarh, and on my own behalf, I welcome you all in the 10th webinar in the series on the theme Information Generation, Dissemination and Use during COVID-19 lockdown. The theme of the webinar series was selected in order to enhance the professional knowledge through dissemination of information on cutting edge technology and utilize the period of lockdown in productive academic activity. Now, in the may I request Professor Ram, who is Professor of Political Science and Dean Faculty of Arts, Punjab University, Chandigarh, to give the presidential address, please.
Thank
Professor
you.
Ram.
Thank you, Professor Preeti Mahajan. Thank you very much. It's an honor and privilege to be on this webinar. I'm very glad to know that Department of Library and Information Sciences of Punjab University has taken the lead in organizing webinars. The 10th webinar, the earlier 9 webinars were very successful, and they were organized by inviting faculty from the different countries, senior-most professors, head of the institutions, as well as alumnus from the department and from our university accordingly. So at this moment when we all are living in lockdown in the country and abroad, this is the best utilization of time, as our UGC and MHRD is saying, and our Vice Chancellor is kind enough to encourage the university departments to hold such webinars. One of the most important things is that these webinars are not only providing inputs, dissemination of information to our students, research scholar, faculty, it also provides opportunity for the civil intelligentsia to join us. Some of the friends of our alumnus, our scholars, once they have the meeting ID and password, they can easily join it. We are shortly going to have a larger system where we would have accommodate much more. Now with the WebEx system, we are accommodating this much, and this is very great. Whenever Department of Library Science and Information organize seminar, within a few minutes, the total goes beyond 100. So thereby Professor Preeti Mahajan was asking me to be on the board much before, otherwise it will be difficult for us to take you with us. This seminar is the theme on which Professor Jagtar Singh, my dear friend from the old days from Punjab universities, when we were students together over here, and my frequent visit to Punjabi University, Patiala, from where he retired as a senior professor, is the right person to look into, because he is the one, I was reading about him, that he is the research coordination chair of UNESCO Media, Information, Literacy, and Intercultural Dialogue University Network. So who else can be more suitable to address this theme? Today's seminar will talk about issues like how online and offline hate speeches, radicalization, polarizations. Then we are talking about where intolerance, fake news are so much on the search. We need something, how we will try to sieve through that which is the right news. Most often it put us somewhere in a very indecent situation, then we immediately try to forward some news. Then it occurred that the news is not today's news, this was 2005 news. So recently many news are in circulations regarding the reverse migrations, but those news are the correct, but the photographs goes to South Asian countries, of our own countries, many months back. So I think this webinar about going to throw a significant light on these issues and how we can we can learn it and try to become more secure on our online dissemination of information. I won't take much time because it is a 1 hour 20 hour, 1 hour 20 minutes time with us. Some time is always going into it. I wish a great interactive session after the lecture. And I thanks Professor Priti Mahajan providing me this opportunity to come on their webinar. Wishing you very best for the talk and the interactive session. Thank you very much for inviting me and allowing me to share few of my ideas with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the need of such webinars as well as your highly encouraging remarks. We as a team will do our level best to provide quality content to the participants by eminent speakers. Apart from this, we always take note of time management and netiquettes. Well, today
Thank
we
you.
have amongst us Professor Jagtar Singh, former Professor DLIS, Dean, Faculty of Education and Information Science, as well as Professor in charge of Patiala, Punjabi University, Patiala Library. He has 35 years of teaching experience and he has guided many research scholars. About 14 of them have been awarded PhD under his supervision on the cutting edge area of research. An alumnus of our department, he has widely favored and has many awards and honors to his credit, including the prestigious Commonwealth Academic Staff Fellowship 1992-93 at Loughborough University, UK. He has been honored with Lifetime Achievement Award by both Indian Library Association and the Pakistan Library Association. He has contributed more than 100 papers and has authored and edited 10 books. He has served as lead editor for UNESCO's Media and Information Literacy and Intercultural Dialogue Yearbook 2015 and 16. He has worked jointly with Dr. Elton Grizzle to develop 5 laws of media and information literacy, which have now been adopted by UNESCO and have been translated into all official languages of UNESCO. He has also contributed to the development of empowering 8 models of information literacy, which is sponsored by EFLA. He has also developed health information literacy model for health and wellness of people. Recently, he has launched the e-artist MIL model in collaboration with Dr. Alton Grizzle. He is content creator and mentor for Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's International Network of Emerging Library Innovators India program being implemented by MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, Chennai. He is also monitoring the UNESCO MIL Chair for Gender Equality and Youth Development being established at Punjabi University, Patiala. He is also the Chief Coordinator, Reading Mission India 2022 Punjab chapter. He is Director, Collaboration and Partnership, Indian Association of Teachers of Library Information Science, lifetime President, Satyendra Kaur Ramdev Memorial Trust for Advancement of Librarianship, that is Satkal, and his patron, Punjab Library Association. Besides, he has organized many international conferences, seminars, and workshops in India and abroad. He has delivered many keynote addresses and valedictory speeches and invited key papers nationally as well as internationally. His areas of interest include knowledge management, knowledge organization, open access, library information science education and research, and media and information literacy, also information ethics and aesthetics. Today, Professor Jagtar would be speaking on media information literacy and reinforcing human rights and countering fake news, which is the main concern of all of us today in the time of crisis. Before I hand over the podium to Professor Jagtar, like earlier times, I request all the participants to keep their audio and video at mute position so that we can have better connectivity. We would also appreciate if you do not request us for the PPTs, please. We'll try to upload the presentations now onwards on the YouTube channel. Please do not drop your email addresses or good morning messages because that will be taking of your time. During the webinar, a link would be shared in the chat box wherein you will have to fill up your name, email addresses, and please do not panic if it takes a little longer for you to receive the e-certificates. Now, with this, I hand over the proceedings to Professor Jagtar, please.
Thank you very much, Professor Preeti Mahajan. Today I am going to make presentation on media and information literacy for reinforcing human rights and countering fake news. First of all, I thank everyone at your end for giving me this opportunity to share my views on media and information literacy for reinforcing human rights and countering fake news. Now, why I have chosen this topic? Because see, information is necessary for decision making, and the quality of decision depends upon the quality of information available to you. So previously we were talking of information literacy or media literacy as separate concepts, but now UNESCO is saying that we should take it as a composite concept. But before talking about the composite concept of media and information literacy, let me tell you what is information literacy. In this slide, it is clearly written information seekers' ability. Information literacy is information seekers' ability to define information, articulate his information, uh, then assess his information needs, locate and access information as needed, then organize information and make use of information, communicate information, and make use of ICT skills for information processing. Here again, I would like to request the students and the faculty members to read Seven Faces of Information Literacy by Christine Bruce. That is very good article. Now, what is the purpose of information literacy? Purpose is to make choices and express voices, voices of the marginalized sections of society. Now, in the next slide, we are talking of what is media literacy. Earlier, we were talking of information literacy, but now I am talking of media literacy. It is to understand the role and functions of media in a democratic society and understand the conditions under which media can fulfill their functions. Understand the conditions under media can fulfill their functions and critically evaluate media content and engage media for self-expression and democratic participation. Means we are to engage the information seeker in media for self-expression and democratic participation. And we are to focus on the review skills, including the ICTs needed to produce user-generated content. Here again, purpose is to make right choices to liberate the arrested voices. That is the main purpose. In the third slide, we are talking about why media literacy is needed. Now, here one should think be clear that media, commercial media is controlled by government, corporate tycoons, politicians, and non-government organizations. Previously, non-government organizations were talking about welfare of society, but now in the COVID-19, I have seen that many of the NGOs are also focusing on profit motive. Now, why these four are deconstructing the information or the reality? They have profit motive and work on revenue model. They construct stories to condition human minds to obtain power and money. So they're focusing on power and money. They hide truth from citizens and mislead them. Here I am talking about, see, when we are talking of access, uh, there are four kinds of access. First is bibliographical access. That means what is available, where it is located, and how to get it. And then we should also know the domains of information, knowledge, and wisdom. The domain of information is to make decisions. The domain of knowledge is to solve problems. And the domain of wisdom is to guide one's feelings, thoughts, and actions. So when we are talking of information, information is structured data, but knowledge is information put into practice. Try to understand the difference. Information is simply structured data, but knowledge basically is information put to practice. If that information or knowledge is not practical, then it's not knowledge, it is information. Common sense is the ability to make instant decisions, but wisdom directs one's feelings, thoughts, actions into socially desirable manner for public welfare, harmony, and peaceful coexistence. Commercial media builds colonies on human minds for their motive. Hence, information evaluation skills, critical thinking, and alternative media are needed to ascertain truth behind the commercially constructed stories. That is the main purpose, that we are to find the truth behind the constructed story, which is motivated by the commercial media. Now, here I am to talk about literacy, education, and practice. Literacy enables us to deal with facts and figures only. And we are see today people are talking of big data, data analytics, and many more things. Why they are interested in data? Because commercial people want to study your behavior so that they are able to sell their products and services to you. Education means practice. If education is not practical, uh, then it's of no use. Unfortunately, our education system, particularly in India, is theoretical, based on bookish knowledge only. It is very dangerous. Our educational system is trying to make robots of men by killing their thinking and imagination and transforming robots into men by mindlessly promoting artificial intelligence. We're talking of artificial intelligence. See, if we are to make judgment, artificial intelligence is not going to help you. And you're trying to superimpose upon the machine upon the man. Machine is simply a tool, not a master. Master is the human being and is thinking and feeling. Here I'm talking about human rights. In human rights, human beings are the biggest wealth of nations, and human rights are the fundamental rights of every citizen to live their life in a dignified way. Hence, human dignity must not be compromised. Mill must liberate people from othering. Othering, try to understand the meaning of othering. When we are using discrimination and discretion, that is othering. And this discrimination and discretion leads to corruption. And corruption can be countered with good governance, transparency, responsibility, and accountability only. And artificial boundaries, we are to liberate people from these artificial boundaries and enable them to ensure their self-actualization. If you have read about Maslow's needs, these start from the basic needs and end with self-actualization, means realizing your potential. That is possible by media and information literacy. Arrested voices means the voices which are not heard by the commercial sector, government, and the politicians must be liberated and enabled to obtain their right to be. Right to be is the biggest right, and we must be champions of right to be. Media and information literacy must equip people with critical thinking skills, independent learning skills, and self assertion abilities to take the bull of corruption by horns. When commercial media is deconstructing the real stories, it has motive. Government has the motive to capture power, and media tycoons to make money by selling their products and services. They use their discretion and discrimination, and that leads to corruption. Fake news. When commercial media is controlled by governments, corporate tycoons, politicians, and the NGOs, how can citizens of a nation know truth behind the story that is presented to them as scripted stories? Scripted stories mean stories are already written. When there are panel discussions, anchors dominate and they get representatives from different political parties. Instead of discussing the things with open mind, they're trying to toe the line of their political party. I mean to say there is a nexus between governments and the corporate tycoons for their vested interests. Nexus between the power and money at the cost of human rights of the marginalized sections of society. Media and information literacy is the antidote to break this dirty nexus to liberate the arrested voices and the buried choices. So that's why I'm saying media and information literacy is necessary for reinforcing human rights and countering the fake news. Now, we should also be clear about the misinformation concept of misinformation, disinformation, and fake news. Information seekers are interested in accurate, true, and holistic reporting of happenings that are taking place locally, nationally, and globally. They have the right to know as they elect the governments, pay taxes, and provide markets to corporate sectors for their products and services. But the governments and the commercial media script stories to obtain power and money motive. If ethical journalists try to tell the truth by exposing the hidden agenda of the power that they are bullied, tortured, and even eliminated. Citizens are miserably surrounded by the education, uh, surrounded by the education mafia, drug mafia, you can say political mafia. There are many mafias, so they are surrounding the whole system. Now, what is the heart of the matter? Now, the central question is how to reinforce human rights and counter fake news. Media and information literacy, alternative media, and real education, ethics, and aesthetical values, human values are the way out. Following platforms are serving as counter narrative to the commercial media. These are the wire. I have given the URL. Then scroll on is another platform. Countercrunch is another platform from where you can get trustworthy information. These are trustworthy sites to know the truth. See, why don't I call sources of information? I call sites for information. Sources of information can be documentary, human, and non-documentary, or institutional. But sites of information can come from the site. If you're crossing a road, the information is not coming from the library. It is coming from the site on your left and right. And then analyzing that information, you make a decision to cross that road or not. Because at stake is your life. So you can't make a wrong choice. But truth, accuracy, and freedom. That is the hallmark of media and information literacy. Theft. Everybody must have heard about it. International Federation of Library Associations and institutions. It's freedom of access to information and freedom of expression. It is working on it. Then UNESCO has mail collects. See, if you go to this site, you find mail toolkit. You will find media and information curriculum for teachers, media and information literacy indicators, Mill MOOC is there, and then you have the Mill curriculum framework also. Then GABMIL stands from Global Alliance for Media and Information Literacy. Now its new name is MIL Alliance, Millard University Network. I am research contact of Millard University Network for South Asia. Millard stands for Media and Information Literacy and Intercultural Dialogue. Then UNESCO MIL MOOC is the course between UNESCO and a Canadian university. Anybody can register for this course and they will get certificate from the UNESCO that they have done a course on media and information literacy. UNESCO Mail Toolkit is also there. There are 6 documents and the PDF formats of these documents are freely available. And then Melody Universe, this UNESCO Melody Yearbook is there. It is brought every year. I have edited as lead editor 2 yearbooks. One is Media and Information Literacy of Melody Yearbook for the Sustainable Development Goals in 2015, and another is Media and Information Literacy for reinforcing human rights and countering radicalization and violent extremism. That was brought in 2016. Sorry. Now, UNESCO also conducts UNESCO Global Mill Week, Feature Conference, and Youth Agenda Forum. Then there are various mill declarations. I'm happy to share with you that this Mill Week Feature Conference for and Youth Agenda Forum will be held in India at Punjabi University, Patiala during 2016. And UNESCO has already sanctioned $20,000 for this purpose. Various mill declarations are there and strategic responses to the temporal issues and concerns are available for acquiring media and information literacy competencies for reinforcing human rights and countering fake news. Now, these are the 5 laws of media and information literacy. Few for these laws was taken from the 5 laws of Professor Ranganathan. These laws were developed by me and Dr. Elton Grizzle, who is program specialist of communication and information sector of UNESCO Paris headquarters. And I need not explain the laws. You can Google it and read it. But, these laws are now adopted by UNESCO and are translated into its 6 languages. Basically, it has become property of UNESCO, but we are happy that we have made this fundamental contribution. Again, in November 2019, me and Elton Grizzle have launched this e-artist mill model. Why e-artist mill model is there? Because previously there were all the models focusing on information literacy. In 2004, we have made that empowering eight model of information literacy. Then previously, Eisenhower had made that big six model, and then this Fulhau has given us the process model. But all these models were focusing on media, this information literacy. There was no model on media and information literacy. So we have developed this media and information literacy model. Uh, it consists of ERTISTS. So this is an acronym, ERTIST. E stands for exploration. Exploration of one's knowledge base and the gaps in one's knowledge base. Now, when we are talking of information need, it is gap in your tested knowledge base. So first of all, any information seeker must identify what is the gap, what sort of information he or she is needing. See, you have your personal goals, professional goals, educational goals, and social goals, and you need information. Your students, if you are to write an assignment or give a seminar, you need information. If you are to write a dissertation or a PhD thesis, you need information. So first of all, you are to define your information needs. Then assimilate. You have one paper in your syllabi that is information analysis, consolidation, and repackaging. Previously, we were talking of information storage and retrieval. So here assimilation means that you are to consolidate information from different sources of information. So if that information, that's why I was saying bibliographical access means what is available, where located, and how to get it. That is bibliographical access. Then physical access is whether it is printed publication or digital document, you should have that information in your hand. Then there is language access. If you don't know language of the document, you can't decode the message. And finally, it is the conceptual access. You should understand what the author is trying to say or what sort of message is being conveyed. Message is aboutness, what the book is about and what the digital document is about. So assimilation is the second stage. Then R means to reflect. So when you have consolidated that information, when that information has gone inside your subconsciousness, you are to reflect. You are to reflect and you are to decide what is true and what is untrue. You are to make critical analysis and assessment of the information that is with you. And then you are to truncate the unnecessary information. You cannot keep all the information. See, when we are talking of the context is three things are important. One is context, second is content, and third is the container. Then competence is also important, community is also important, continuity is also. Continuity is lifelong learning. When we are talking of learning, the most difficult part is to unlearn something. Otherwise, it is learning to learn, learning to unlearn, and learning to relearn. So learning to unlearn is very difficult. See, I am very much interested in reading and reflecting, but I am very poor at technological skills because I am biased against technology. Technology for me is a tool, not a master. When people think technology is our master, I feel curious about that. So we are to truncate unnecessary information, then integrate. So you are to integrate the useful information into your subconscious. I give you example of PhD. You are collecting the data. You are to integrate on that data which is relevant to your central question of the PhD thesis and then the sub-objectives. And finally, you are to share that information. If that information is for public welfare, you are to share that information. Just now, I am sharing my knowledge and information on this media and information literacy, but where I am focusing, that is reinforcing human rights and countering fake information, that is to add value to human life. Now, concluding remarks. Media and information literacy is needed for realizing the truth. Today also I was discussing with my colleague what is the difference between truth and reality. I'll tell you later on, but you should think what is the difference between truth and reality. Then asserting one's identity. In the beginning I have said identity means to be a face in the crowd, to be a good student, to be a good teacher, to be a good son, to be a good father, to be a good wife, to be a good sister. To be is the real issue. So your identity is to be a good human being. We are talking of all castes, classes, religions, politics, economics, culture, and everything. But we are not talking of human beings. We are ignorant. That's why I am focusing on reinforcing human rights. To be. The choice is with you whether you want to be a good person or to be a bad person. Media and information literacy must be promoted across frontiers, not in library and information science. Media and information literacy must become an integral part of the syllabi, starting from the school level up to the PhD level. I've written across frontiers at all levels and layers of life, education, and work. So sometimes I feel neither I'm at home, nor I'm on the road, nor I'm at work. Why? Because I'm not focused. I mean to say anybody. That's why T.S. Eliot has said very beautifully, where is the life we have lost in living? Where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? Where is the knowledge we have lost? Where is the knowledge we have lost in information? And today we can say, we can add, where is the information we have lost in big data? And where is the big data we have lost in living? Nothingness, because we are not understanding the motive of the corporate sector. They are getting that big data, they are trying to study your behavior because they want to sell their products and purchase. That's why they're talking of artificial intelligence, algorithms, big data, data analytics. So media and information literacy is the antidote. So fake news and fake education. Why I call it fake news? Because the commercial sector, the commercial media is not telling us the truth. It is hiding. It is giving only that information to the citizens that serve their purpose and hide which is not convenient to them. Fake education because it is the bookish only. Fake education on the other front also. When a student is doing a prestigious course, he is not talking of new values. He is talking of packages. I've got this much money from that much company. So he is talking of money, not of human values. That's why I call it. It's not converting into good human beings. It is converting people into robots. And a fake education must be replaced with truthful information and resource-based, learner-centered, ethical education. Our education system should ensure resource-based. Actually, what is happening? We are having ambitious levels, but we don't have the pedagogical methods appropriate. Now we are focusing a lot. Previously, we were biased towards chalk and talk. Now we are biased towards digital technology. But our education system must be resource-based, learner-centered, ethical education. The widening gap between the rhetoric and reality must be bridged with the help of alternative media. Now, who can check the commercial media, alternative media? Here we are talking about, you see, social media, new media, community media, or alternative media. Now, we are not consumers of information. We are prosumers of information because we are producing information as well as using. I have objection to consumption of information because information cannot be consumed. Information can be used, misused, or misused, but it cannot be consumed. Consumption means benefit something. I'm sharing my information, I'm not losing anything, but it is multiplying. When it is recorded and shared, it will further multiply. So it can't be consumed. It can be converted into knowledge, then into wisdom, then into value, and then into goodness, public good. But it cannot be consumed. So media and information literacy has the potential to do it, but we need the will and skill to liberate the arrested voices and suppressed choices. Listen carefully. I am focusing on two things. Arrested voices, the voices which are not being heard by the commercial media. Here I am talking of equity. That's why IFLA is talking of freedom of access to information and freedom of expression. And similarly, suppressed choices. I say once a person is exercising choice, he should have no right for security, etc. Because the person has made a choice to be a politician, to be a judge, or to be an army personnel. Once he has decided that I will go to the army, then he should not be scared of it. Once the person has decided I will be a politician, why he is seeking security? When a person has chosen that I will be a judge, why he is seeking security? We are paying the tax. Why we should pay the tax for the choices of the people? If we have forced somebody, then it is our responsibility and accountability. So media and information literacy can create that awareness. Now, here I want to acknowledge high laws of media and information literacy and the e-artist mill model have been developed jointly by the author, that means Jagtar Singh and Dr. Elton Gravel, who is program specialist of communication and information, UNESCO Paris. See, I am working with UNESCO, I am working with many international organizations, I am working with ISLA, but still I feel proud that I am student of the Department of Library and Information Science, Punjab University, Chandigarh, and whatever I have learned, that was on the base, but it was my lifelong learning that has taken me to cloud nine. And I want my faculty colleagues, professionals, library professionals, and students of all universities in India to self-actualize, and that is possible by media and information literacy. These laws and the e-artist mill model, along with three photographs following this slide, have been taken from the PPT presented at the Korean National Commission for Cooperation with UNESCO sponsored Media and Information Literacy International Conference, Seoul, South Korea. Now is the time to thank you for your time and attention, but kindly see the following three pictures. Now you see what sort of feeling is coming to your mind. This is what man has made of man. This is the picture of a poor girl from Syria whose parents were killed in a conflict by the army. And a idiot photograph is asking this girl to smile. And you see what you read in this smile. The pain. She has lost the parents and you are asking her to smile, that photographer. This is what man has made of man because of his greed for power and money. Now next, this is what Mother Nature is giving to us. See, Mother Nature is not discriminating with us. Never it has thought that how much oxygen will be given, air will be given to Jagtar Singh, how much light will be given to Jagtar Singh, how much rain will be given to Jagtar Singh or anybody else. Mother Nature is not discriminating. Discretion and discrimination is being used by the vested interests who are struggling for power and money. That is a two-phase relation. There are only two classes, ruling class and the ruled class. Now, media and information literacy can empower the people with their identity, self-assertion, critical thinking, information evaluation skills. And now see, this is the street dog I have adopted. He comes to my door, I put him the food. Once he eats, his need is fulfilled, then he goes to the sleep. But human beings, again I repeat that, T.S. Eliot's lines, where is the life we have lost in living? Where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? Where is the knowledge we have lost in information? So that is all. Media and information literacy and alternative media is the antidote to counter the commercial motives of the governments, politicians, corporate sector, and the NGOs. And only this way we can reinforce human rights. And the biggest human right is the right to be. It is up to you to make a choice. You want to be a face in the crowd or you want to be a part of the crowd. And fake news means we want full truth, true story. When I am saying truth, truth means a complete picture of some happening. Here I want to tell you three layers of human life. At the base is your instinct, in the middle is your intellect, and at the top is your intuition. Instinct means physical desire. Intellect means to decode the cause and effect relation. Effect is something has happened, and cause is why it is happening. Newton was disturbed why everything is going down. Then he came to know it is the nature of Earth to gravitate. So there finishes the role of the intellect. What is it? Is the intuition which is very important. Your level of concentration should be so much strong that you should be able to anticipate that what is going to. So the hallmark of media and information literacy is critical thinking, independent learning. Now the shift is from teaching to learning. Now it is not the it is guide on the side, not stage on the center stage. It is the student, it is the full system, it is the student, it is the end user who is the king. And media and information literacy is not focusing on the students and the information seekers. And if it is not trying to develop good human beings, then we are somewhere failing in our duty. That's why Eliot is saying, where is the life we have lost in living? Life is a qualitative and sustainable relationship for peaceful coexistence, harmony, I mean to say live and let live. And living is simply running here and there for useless activity, doing something without knowing why we are doing it. Living is rut, and life is a purposeful living. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And once again, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my ideas, perception, learning on this topic, media and information literacy. Again, I want to reiterate that I am very much proud that I am student of this department. And whenever I come to Punjab University, Chandigarh, I go to my room number 5, where I used to sit, and I go to hostel number 5 in block 2 and room number 35, where I used to live. I am still very much suggesting about that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time and valuable attention.
Thank you, Professor Jagtar. Thank you for your highly informative talk, clarifying the difference between information, knowledge, and wisdom. Also, on difference between literacy and education, misinformation, disinformation, and fake news. And media information literacy is important, and we have to explore our information, evaluate the information in terms of its accuracy, validity, and objectivity, and then assimilate the information. And lastly, you gave some tips to fight misinformation. While you were giving the talk, I'm reminded of a TV serial. It's not exactly a serial, it was on News Nation, where I don't remember exactly the title of that. Whatever it was, they were informing us as to whatever information is going rounds on WhatsApp, whether it is a fake news or a reality. And most of them, whatever episode I could see, most of them, 99% of them were fake news. So we have to take care of the fake news. That is, we are not to listen to the fake news. So, and I also thank Professor Ronki Ram, Dean, Punjabi University, Chandigarh, from Faculty of Arts, Professor Dinesh Kumar Gupta and Professor Manoj Kumar Joshi from Kurukshetra University, Dr. Rajesh Singh from Delhi
Singh
University,
from Delhi University.
and the department, research scholars, and students for their constant support. Thank you all. Stay safe. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.